Meningitis cases spread in Bali, and more on Bules behaving badly. What else is new? Stay tuned for details. Selamat siang. Welcome to the latest news from Bali and Indonesia. This is May 1st, 2023. Happy May Day for all of you celebrating that. And it is a red day in Indonesia. What is the weather like today? Well, it has been really variable. It was really nice about 6 o'clock in the morning. Then it got cloudy. Now it's nice again. It's very windy. It is hot, 33 degrees Celsius here in Kampung Bugis. The wind speed is 19.4 kilometers per hour and the humidity 71%. And yes, so we have cases of meningitis, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. And we have more Bule behaving badly cases here that have hit the news, gone viral, of course. And so once it goes viral, it gets serious. As I said the other day, we used to mess up too in the old days, but we didn't have Instagram, we didn't have TikTok, we didn't have Facebook, we didn't have handphones. And so the range of bad behavior goes from some pretty extreme behavior to, well, the usual stuff here. Okay, let's get started and talk about meningitis. Meningitis cases spread in Bali. Disperpa asked to avoid consumption of processed raw meat being pork. And if you've been here for a long time, you know pork is an important food in Bali, especially for ceremonies. And so the meningitis is connected with the raw pork, the uncooked pork. The emergence of suspected cases of meningitis streptococcus suis, or pig meningitis in Bali, well, it's here, and the Agriculture and Food Service of Bandung Regency is intensifying prevention. Currently, there are no cases of meningitis reported in Bandung. However, according to the head of Bandung Agriculture and Food Service, he said, "We continue to make efforts to raise public awareness to prevent the transmission of this animal disease to humans." Based on data that was collected during the foot and mouth disease vaccination, the pig population in Bandung, 31,600. To people who raise pigs, the Bandung Disperpa asked them to implement biosecurity by keeping the cages clean and spraying regularly to prevent the development of the bacteria that causes meningitis. The spokesperson said, "We facilitate by providing disinfectants and medicine to maintain the health of residents' animals." According to this article, the pork needs to be cooked at 70 to 80 degrees Celsius in order to kill the bacteria. According to data from Bali Provincial Health Offices as of April 24th, that's a week ago, there were 27 suspected cases being treated in Gianyar. There are 5 cases being treated in Jembrana at the hospital there, 2 cases at Professor Nura Hospital in Denpasar, and 4 cases in Bali Mandara Hospital, and that totals 38. So there are 38 suspected cases of meningitis, and 5 deaths have been reported connected with this. So if you are a person who likes getting out into the villages and really discovering what Bali is like outside of the tourist traps, well, be careful. Don't eat any raw pork at this point. Make sure that it is cooked. Okay, so what about Bules behaving badly? In Bali, tourists reject the sign of rooster crowing, and Bandung Caucasian arrested for sounds from a mosque. So what the article says is, well, you remember the rooster story and the foreigners who were upset about that and all the hoo-ha here? Well, in this case, this is in Bandung. The foreigner, an Australian, got angry because of the sounds from the mosque, and he came in to complain, got into an argument with the imam there, and he spit in his face. Wow, bad, bad, bad. He then, according to the article, calmly walked out of the mosque after interrupting the prayer call. Well, he was picked up at the airport just as he was about to return home. They snatched him at the Singaraja airport, and he was arrested. No news on what is going to happen to him. They're interesting. Usually in these kind of stories, there is a little section that tells how long the person can be in jail if they're convicted of a crime. Nothing here about that, and so no follow-up, and we'll see what happens as this case develops. Here's a case where a foreigner really screwed up and he is in big trouble. Foreigner mistreating Simeulue resident named suspect, and I think that's pronounced correctly, could be not. An Australian was arrested on Thursday after he mistreated a number of residents on an island in the Aceh province. And in particular, he picked up a motorbike apparently and threw it on a guy and caused 50 stitches. He's being detained in the local police headquarters. Before the incident occurred, the suspect also beat a security guard at the restaurant. So, you know, in Aceh, alcohol is banned. But apparently, according to this article, foreigners can bring in one bottle. But they have to consume it privately. They can't do it out in public. And of course, well, they're not supposed to be drunk, wandering around. Well, after consuming alcohol in his room, he exited the room naked, punched a security guard who was trying to keep him from leaving the premises, went out and started bothering passersby, and then at 1 o'clock he came to the parking lot of a coffee shop. At that point, he picked up a motorcycle, threw it on a resident, and that caused the injury to his leg. And the wife filed a criminal complaint against him for injuring her husband. At this point, fortunately for him, he's only being charged with the assault on the local person. Sharia law hasn't kicked in yet for the alcohol, and if that happens, well, that could be a big problem because whipping is one of the punishments for being convicted of using alcohol in Aceh. If convicted of the assault, he can go to jail for 5 years. And apparently the police are coordinating with the Australian embassy according to this manner. And according to a spokesperson here, they appeal to all tourists to come to the island, but still respect the customs and culture. And according to one report, locals were so enraged after hearing about the injured motorcyclist that they were going to set fire to the local hotel where the Australian was staying. Fortunately, local police and the village head managed to calm down the mob. The Australian said that he had come to the island with a mate as part of a 3-week surfing holiday. And wow, if you can't hold your liquor in Indonesia, don't drink it. And a couple of Bules behaving badly in Besakih, acting in the sacred area of Besakih Pengubengan temple. 3 foreigners hunted by Singaraja immigration. Foreigners on the island of gods continue to be a worry. Most recently, 3 foreigners consisted of 2 women and 1 man were recorded posing and dancing in impolite clothing in the sacred area of this temple in Besakih. In response to this, the head of immigration office in Singaraja emphasized that he would immediately hunt down the 3 foreigners who were acting up, especially since his party had received a report from the local Bendesa Adat. The head of immigration in Singaraja said, "We appreciate this report because it indicates that people are starting to understand and care about the situation that is happening in their surroundings." He said he's optimistic that they will be able to find the 3 foreign nationals, even though their identity is not known yet, because the photos of the faces are on file. I guess that's what this means. The translation here is a little sketchy. My translation wasn't much better at this point. I don't know exactly what he meant. He said that the 3 faces already exist, and so I'm assuming he means it already exists in government database, probably for their visas. And so they are looking for these 3 people. And in terms of inappropriate clothing, they may be referring to the image where one young lady was posing in a kind of a dancer pose up in front of the temple, and she had on a halter top. Meanwhile, the head of Immigration Division of the Bali Regional Office of Ministry of Law and Human Rights said he would not tolerate the behavior of foreigners who often disturb them, let alone behave impolitely in sacred areas. He said, "I've ordered all immigration offices to immediately pursue and arrest foreign nationals who behave inappropriately in the Besakih temple area." You're going to Besakih, better behave. And I'm surprised that this happened because I was under the impression that to be up in Besakih, you needed to have a guide. That was one of the big issues that was going on when we first reopened. So if there was a guide there, why didn't he tell the young lady to cover her shoulders? I don't know. That's one of the questions that maybe immigration will discover when they find these three and question them. More on Besakih. Viral video of foreign nationals suspected of becoming a tour guide at Besakih. Immigration has difficulty tracing. So a video was uploaded by Bali DPDHPI, Indonesian Tour Guides Association, on their Facebook page. And in the video, foreigners are seen wearing Balinese traditional clothing, and one is allegedly acting as a tour guide giving directions to a number of foreign tourists. This video was then uploaded on Nilu Jelantik's Instagram account. Nilu Jelantik, very popular with Balinese and getting less and less popular with foreigners who, well, have some issues with her posting these videos. Yes, the video went viral and received various comments. Sad and really excited when local residents take part in training and had to meet many requirements to be official guides. This actually seems to challenge that without shame and self-knowledge, according to Ibu Jelantik. The head of the immigration office in Singaraja admitted that they checked the Besakih temple, but they did not find any foreign citizens acting as tour guides. They're having difficulty tracing the foreign nationals in the video because, according to the executor of the Besakih temple, there's no complete visitor data because, he said, some visitors don't want to give them any data about themselves. I guess they don't want to sign into maybe the guidebook. I haven't been at Besakih in over 20 years, so I'm not sure how things work there now. So according to him, the number of foreign nationals was 320, so looks like that is not going to be any help. And of course, in this article, like in the last article, the head of the Immigration Division for Ministry of Law and Human Rights said, we're not going to put up with anybody misbehaving, especially in sacred areas. Buleleng. Buleleng forbids the sale of single-use plastics. All right. So a number of shops selling single-use plastics in Buleleng received warnings from the Buleleng Civil Service Police Unit, Satpol PP, and producers, agents, and sellers were asked to stop selling single-use plastics. The Buleleng Satpol PP has intensified control of the circulation of single-use plastics in accordance with Bali Governor Regulation number 97 of 2018. In total, there are 3 single-use plastics that are recommended to be stopped selling. The 3 are plastic bags, plastic pipettes, that's plastic straws, and styrofoam boxes. Now, well, I could get this out of the refrigerator, but you know, you buy those little juice cartons and they've got a plastic straw that goes with that. Now, are they going to pull these off? How is that going to work? According to the head of investigation section, Dewa Made, he said that so far all shop owners, mini markets, supermarkets, including supply agents, have received socialization about this situation. This includes a number of entrepreneurs who have signed agreements not to sell the 3 types of single-use plastic. And they're given a month's leeway. So if they have some, they can either return them or they can continue to sell them until June 1st, and at that point, if they continue to sell them, they will get a warning, and if they continue to sell them after that, their business license can be revoked. According to this article, the government is providing solutions for entrepreneurs to prepare replacements for the banned merchandise. Plastic bags replaced with cloth bags, plastic pipettes replaced with bamboo pipettes, and styrofoam boxes replaced with paper boxes. And, well, we always use cloth boxes. Many markets here and the supermarkets for a long time have not provided plastic bags here in Singaraja anyway. Go into the warungs, it's a different story. And if you go and you buy fruit at, let's say, Clandy's or one of the other stores here, they're wrapped up in plastic still. So, it's a long way to go, but at least this is a start. Good, good, good. Bali Spirit Festival is back on again. It will return after a 2-year absence due to the pandemic. The activity will be held the 4th to the 7th, of course, in Ubud as always. According to the founder of the Bali Spirit Festival, Made Gunarta, he said that he is really happy because they're back working once again. He said this year's theme is gratitude. He said the Bali Spirit Festival is not just a party event, but also gives hopes to contribute to society. At the very least, he said, from the festival, they can provide jobs, involve MSMEs, involve entrepreneurs, and invite more guests. Activities will be the same as in the past, yoga, music, and dance, just that the varieties will be different and it'll be more of a focus on inviting participants to be grateful. I don't know how that's going to work, but good idea. It's targeted that around 2,000 participants from countries all over the world will attend the Spirit Festival. And as a refresher for tourism, Made hopes that this festival can be carried out optimally and provide benefits to the community. Okay, I'm not a yoga person. I'm not a Bali Spirit Festival person, but good luck with that. And if you are attending, it is the 4th to the 7th down in Ubud. And one final story on planes. Batik Air to connect Bali and Vietnam. Okay, Batik is a full-service subsidiary of the Lion Air Group, and they are going to start flights to 2 destinations in Vietnam, to Hanoi and to Ho Chi Minh City. The first flights will begin on May 26th, less than a month away. According to the corporate communication manager for Batik Air, he said the service will be operated from 6 main cities in Indonesia and will go to Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. These 6 cities: Kuala Namu International Airport in North Sumatra, Soekarno-Hatta in Jakarta, of course, Jogja's International Airport, Surabaya's International Airport, and Makassar's International Airport, and of course, right here in Bali in Denpasar. Batik Air will operate a Boeing 737-800 aircraft on all its Vietnam flights as a full-service carrier. You will get in-flight meals, free in-flight entertainment, and a baggage allowance of 20 kilograms in economy class and 30 in business class. Okay, I wonder how much that's going to cost. I don't know. Is anybody planning on going to Vietnam soon and going to take Batik Air? Leave a comment below and let us know what you know. And that is it for today. Well, I think I said in the last video, I washed all the windows because I decided that the rainy season was over, and we've had 3 days of pouring rain and wind, and you'd think I would learn by now to shut up about the weather, but I'm kind of hard-headed. I'm an old Polak from Chicago. Okay, thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today. Stay safe and have a lovely, lovely week.